Look, I did a lot of wrongs and I'm tryna make them right. They think I just changed, I didn't rest like many nights. Angels with me ready, posted up medieval nights. I need you a class and some brains, he got no type. Too many tears account when I repented for my life. Gave my life to Christ cause he the way, the truth, the light. You know how I'm moving, I heard he said to the right. My regrets made me a man, yeah, hurt, but it's alright. Thuggin', I'm on that corner for them roads, I need them white. I was a caged bird, but it's cool, I'm taking flight. I serve the most high, you 6 foot and you think you touch his height. Predecessor type time and I've been using all my might. I know my time coming, so be patient, ain't no mites. MLK with a dot again, if he saw us use our rights. Put a 10 up on my eyelid.
Quick question, I see you was walking with the young man right there. Who is he to you? You know, I'm smarter than that, right? Call him over here. No, just call him over. Come here, brother. Right? Now, I want you to give me Exodus 22 and 16. Now, like the captain was bringing out, where's your father from? What's your nationality? Dominican. So you would be an Israelite from the tribe of Simeon.
That's right.
Right here. You see Dominicans? So you see some Simeon, Dominicans, Levite, Haitians. So I got a Simeonite in front of me, I got a Levite in front of me. Now here's the thing. Y'all might be friends today, right? But you're a good looking young man, beautiful looking young woman. Anything can change tomorrow. Now here's the thing about it. Relationships are the foundation of any nation. I don't care if it's business, I don't care if it's family. At the end of the day, if we do not conduct our relationships properly, failure will come upon that nation. Right. Now, I'll put it to you like this. The relationship between a man and a woman has stages, right? Now, I'm gonna read those stages, right? And she said, y'all are just friends. What do you say? All right, cool, right? I'm gonna take y'all word for it. But just in case, one day y'all feel differently about each other, y'all gonna have to have this in mind. I'm not saying that you gotta rush into anything, but if y'all do decide to become more than friends one day, this must be on your mind. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 16.
Read out.
And if a man...
If a what?
And
if a
man, read.
Entice a maid.
Entices a maid. So one day, right, you text Carmen, I feel, how old are you, Bobby? How old are you? 17. So first of all, in our nation, as Israelites, y'all are not of marriageable age until 20 years old. So you got 4 years to go, you got 3 years to go, right? So dating, having sex, that's the furthest thing from your minds. Because thus saith the Lord, you two are not marriageable until the ages of 20, right? So now, that's the first thing y'all have to have in mind. But see, Satan is crafty. Satan would have you believe when you walk away from here that what I just said was BS, right? And then what happens? A teen pregnancy. And then what happens? Family breaks apart. Because they laugh at us and joke on us about not having a father in our home. But you know how that starts? When kids do grown-up things. Or even when grown-ups do things improperly. So now, this is something that I would have given to a 20-year-old man, but I'm still going to give it to you to here today because I need you to understand the severity of your actions as a man. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 16.
Read out.
And if a man entice a maid.
If a man entice a maid, read.
That is not betrothed.
That is what?
That is not betrothed.
Read.
And lie with her.
And do what?
And lie with her.
And lay with her. So if a man spit game to a woman, she's not betrothed. The reason that is because if a woman has a man and you go and talk to that woman and have sex with her, that is called adultery. And the punishment for adultery is death. That is a law of God. So it says, if you approach this woman, she's not betrothed, and you lie with her, read.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
He shall what?
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife. So what does that mean? Give me the understanding of what we just read, because I want to see if you comprehend.
If you're doing these things, like that has to be your woman, like that has to be your wife, like for sure.
So what happens if a man has sex with a woman and then throws her away?
Yeah, that's not good for you.
That's a sin, right? Now, what if you just give your body to a man who you just like his smile, you just like the way he looks? What does that mean for you? You just sinned, correct? Now, the way we just said it, it made it seem like it's just a minor mistake. But what happens if you get pregnant? when you do that? What happens if you catch an STD that causes your life when you do that? The first thing you're going to think about is, I would have never been in this position had I kept the commandments of God. Because remember what I said, the building block of a nation is a family. Give me Colossians chapter 3 and verse 18. Even though y'all are not together, I want y'all to both understand individually about the decisions that y'all are going to make growing up. Because as a young man, your focus should be on serving the Lord. Because even when you go and look for a wife, you have to choose one who is going to serve the Lord with you, so that your family collectively can serve the Lord, which is a building block of the nation of Israel. Because what we're founded off of, what the Most High created us to do, is to serve Him. So if you're not serving the Most High, you choose a woman that's not serving the Most High, and your father not serving the Most High, what sense does that make, that a family in Israel isn't doing the very thing that they were created to do? It makes no sense. So what you have to do is become a man of the Lord. What you have to do is become a woman of the Lord. Because you don't want to give yourself over to a like man. Meaning a man who will take you, right? Have his pleasure with you and then throw you to the side. And then now you crying, you probably got a baby, he don't want nothing to do with you. And now your life is jacked up. Why? Because you didn't seek a man of the Lord. Same thing for you. Read.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 18.
Bring it out.
Why?
They say what?
Why?
Say what?
Why?
The Bible never says boyfriend or girlfriend. Those things don't exist. Your life is going to progress like this. Right now, you're somebody's daughter, and then you'll become somebody's wife, and then you'll become somebody's mother. That's how that works. Your father should know when you turn the age of 20 and you find interest in a man, your father should know who this man is. Don't go and sneak behind your father's back. The Most High God, we have a law in Israel. So try to find that law when it talks about if a woman was found not to be a virgin after the father gave her away. I believe it's in Deuteronomy. Monazah, you find that scripture for me? In Israel, if let's say you were in your father's house and you had sex unknowingly, and your father met this young man and said, "Hey, you want to marry my daughter?" Of course, I want to marry your daughter, right? He gives you Carmen, and on your wedding night, you find out Carmen's not a virgin. In the laws of God, she should be put to death. Because it says she played the whore in her father's house. You having sex under the age of 20 with men who your father has known nothing about, that makes you a whore, Carmen. I'm giving it to you. Because in this world with Sexy Red, she will tell you different. In this world with Megan Stallion, she will tell you different. But as my sister, I'm not going to allow you to be beguiled by Satan. Because I want you to understand the severity that is going to cause upon your life. Sexy Red is not going to have to pay for your decisions. You are. And likewise you, right? I want you to read that. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 17.
Okay. Read. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 17.
No, verse 16.
Verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And the damsel's father,
right? So if your father reads,
shall say unto the elders,
Uh-huh.
I gave my daughter unto this man to wife.
He gave you unto him to wife, read.
And he hated her.
And he hated her, read.
And lo,
Uh-huh.
he have given occasions of speech against her,
Read.
saying,
Uh-huh.
I found not thy daughter a maid.
So this man is saying, hey, you gave me your daughter, but I found her not to be a virgin, read.
And yet, these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity.
Read.
And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city.
Read.
Verse 20.
Uh-huh.
But if this thing be true,
Right.
and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel,
Read.
then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house,
Right.
and the men of her city shall stone her with stones,
Read.
that she die.
That she what?
That she die.
So what's the penalty for a woman playing the whore in her father's house? Yeah. But see, in this world, Carmen, you would have never known that. Because as a black American woman, you do whatever you want. But as a Levite,
Right.
the laws of God pertain to you. Right? As a Simeonite, the laws of God pertain to you. So I just wanted to bring that full circle because the relationship is the most vital part of our nation. Right? And if it's not done correctly, that's how we end up in this position. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15 and then drop down to verse 54. Right? I'm going to show you what it's going to look like if we don't follow. I'm speaking to y'all, but I'm bringing the whole nation into this. Because it's upon all of us as Israelites to keep the laws of the Most High God. So let's see what it looks like when we don't follow the laws of God. And y'all tell me if y'all have ever experienced this, seen this, right? on the TV or even in your own households, right? Or in your friend household. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Read it
out.
But it shall come to pass,
Uh-huh.
if thou wilt not hearken,
If what?
if thou wilt not hearken.
Moses. What tribe was Moses from, you know? From Levi. Moses is literally your relative. That's
Teach,
not
wake 'em up.
that's something to be like, man, hold on. Moses? This man that everybody in the world probably know about is my relative? Right?
Wake 'em up, huh?
Not just my cousin, like I'm just saying. No, we literally have the same forefather. That's special right there, huh? That's not anything to be ashamed of. That's something to be proud of. And Moses right now is speaking. So this is your big uncle. So you gotta listen to him. Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken,
If you will not hearken, read.
unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Unto God, read.
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes,
Read.
which I command thee this day,
Read.
that all these curses
That all these what?
That all these curses.
All these curses, read.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So what happens to us? What comes upon us when we don't listen to God? What did that do? We get cursed. So now let's read this curse. And you tell me if you've seen this in our community. And take a good look at this list, right? Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Bahamians. Look at these people and tell me that their life isn't what we're about to read. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54.
Bring it out.
So that the man that is tender among you
The man that is tender among you, read.
and very delicate,
So this guy who used to be cool, man, right? He used to be able to, you used to be able to ask him for anything. He say hello to you every time he see you. Read.
his eye
His what?
His
eye.
Eye, read.
shall be evil toward his brother,
His eye shall be evil toward his brother. Read.
and toward the wife of his bosom,
And toward the wife of his bosom. Read.
and toward the remnant of his children,
So his eye is evil towards who? His brother, his wife, and his children. Read.
which he shall lead.
Which he shall what?
Which he shall lead.
Now that explains why so many single parent households are in our community. Because when this man enticed this maid, he never thought about marriage. He only thought about sex. Now the woman gets pregnant and he wants nothing to do with her or she wants nothing to do with him. Now the child has to suffer. This happens so much that other nations make fun of us about not having a father in our house. And we try to figure out why. But it's because our parents had no intention of becoming married. So even though they were grown past the age of 20, they didn't want to do it right. So what now happened? The curse jumps on us. Read.
so that he will not give to any of them of the
Jump down to
flesh.
56.
Verse 56.
Right? So that talked about the man. Now read.
The tender and delicate woman,
Now the tender and delicate woman, right? Carmen, you seem tender and delicate right now. You seem like a respectful young woman. But if you don't keep the laws of God, let's see what type of woman you will become. Read.
the tender and delicate woman among you, which will not venture to set the sole of her foot
Right.
upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness.
And what?
And tenderness.
So our women used to be delicate and tender, so much so they didn't even want to put their foot on the ground. Now you see women walking around barefoot, like it's nothing, right? It's crazy. But our women used to be so tender and delicate that they wouldn't even want to put their feet on the ground, right? Now that could be literal, right? And that could be figurative. But it's just to show that that's how delicate they were. Read.
Her eye,
Her what?
Her eye.
Her eye, read.
shall be evil
Shall be what?
Shall be evil.
Shall be what?
Shall be evil.
Shall be evil, read.
toward the husband
To what?
Toward the husband.
Toward the husband, read.
of her bosom.
Of her what?
Of her bosom.
Of her bosom. Let me show y'all something real quick. Right? Let me show y'all this picture. You see what this say? This is a picture, right? It says, I hate her, I hate him, but we do it for her. That is the product of what we just read. Right. Now, do you think they followed Exodus 22 and 16? No. They were just two grown-ups doing whatever they wanted to do, and now this child is suffering. For them to even have the audacity to take that picture shows the type of mindset that we have towards one another when it comes to relationships. The Most High made man and woman to be married. You are to go from being a daughter to a what? You're somebody's daughter right now, to somebody's wife, and then what? And then somebody's mother, right? We don't want to do it in reverse. We don't want you to become a mother, and now, 15 years later, you become a wife. No, no, no. You need to be having a husband, because that's what the Most High God created. Now, there's other commandments that we can go into, but I wanted y'all to understand, as young people who are marketed to have sex and to get into things that you really don't understand the severity of, now y'all have the wisdom to fight against that. Your friends are gonna entice you, right? They may even joke on you, man, this guy, he ain't getting nothing, he ain't getting nothing. Don't worry about that, because you coming to serve the Lord. Are they gonna be the ones to judge you when it's time to get into the kingdom? No, right? Your friends are, and female friends are the worst, right? They make you feel like crap when you ain't out here doing right. I mean doing wrong, right? So you gotta now be girded up, because Satan is understanding that this conversation is happening. He gonna try to convince you everything you heard is trash. He gonna try to convince you everything you heard is trash. But I'm planting that seed in your mind, because if y'all do go against the commandment of the Lord and something does happen, remember, this is a judgment that you brought upon yourself. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because when it does happen, you know who you're going to be calling out to? God. The very same man who is telling you right now to not even do it. So it's all just going to come full circle. So better you not do it now and walk in the blessings than to do it and walk in the curses. Because then that's going to be a whole different thing.
Shalom, shalom, family. This is your brother, Captain Asab. Listen, if you are in the Miami, Florida area and you would like to do the work of the Most High, send us an email to lozmdc12@gmail.com, or you can contact us via Instagram at THEELOZMDC. Shalom.
Standing in all black with them shields on post, marching, they all my
Gold is precious, but loyalty is priceless. Harm on the mind might leave you like